watch out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying. Claws out, this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chains. Let's go! I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge. And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great.
But a 1 inch out of my audio is working.
I am a hunter, I've been filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in their eyes, this is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise, just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny, I will be rectified. If you dissect me, find scars you left behind, injuries that define me to my core. They'll hear me roar like never before, the pain I absorbed is feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war. And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great.
Alright, enough of that shit. Y'all can hear me, we're good. Alright. So as I was saying, we're gonna continue off on that video where they were talking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these lives. I will leave them up for the people that enjoy watching and having the live chat there. I will leave both of these lives up, but what I am going to do is take these two lives and just kind of splice them together. Okay, we were at like 10:30, I think, was the last I looked, I think.
No marks on their body.
Oh, wait.
Like suffocation.
Okay, let's just start it here.
Suicide.
Okay, hold up. Hold up.
Change that. Their nonprofit
We're good?
specializes in these cases.
Let me turn this
and they
shit up.
found patterns like
Law enforcement reaches a very quick decision that
They
this
sure
is a
the fuck
suicide
do.
without completing a full investigation.
and other themes.
Law enforcement doesn't talk to family members. And every case that we've handled, there is nothing to indicate that they were suicidal.
Not all, but many of these cases involve domestic violence, like Joanna's.
A domestic violence case is the most likely case to be staged to look like a suicide.
And in those cases,
Huh.
strangulation is not just violence, they say.
See?
It's a warning.
But the thing with Kylie Rodney's case is these people were so smug as to document, like, even though it's a Polaroid, y'all didn't wrap up them loose ends. Yeah, I'm fucked up. There's so many of these cases, though, that can be proven. Like, they can be proven. And I'm just curious. I need to really start putting FOIAs in for just straight autopsies of all these cases. Because I'm just curious about who's signing off in blue ink with whiteout on these documents. And then the fucking sheriff coroner just putting a fucking... I don't even know, man. This is crazy.
Strangulation is not just violence, they say. It's a warning sign.
I hate this. What I would really love for is if any of these family members, okay, if you're not comfortable with me, if you don't like me, if you don't want to talk to me, okay, that's fine. Reach out to somebody, even if it's as simple as going to ABC 10 and finding out who this woman is that's doing this cover story of this. Even like Rowena Shaddix, like there's so many people that could fucking expose Kylie's case to the media, to the public. I don't understand why there's so much hush around all this shit. And what's crazy to me, okay, is ABC 10 gets a lot of views. They have 500,000 of subscribers just on this specific channel for this specific area, right? And it's almost like even their shit gets caught in the algorithm on the interwebs. Because this video was released 3 days ago and it only has 1.1k views on it. And it just blows my mind that shit like this doesn't get more reach just in the state of California, just amongst these family of these victims.
Have this ability.
What they need to do is either get in the comments and contact them. Shit, you could contact me and I'll figure out how you could contact these people. Or we can move it a step further behind the scenes and just hit me up and let's solidify some of this shit, you know? I have people. There's a lot of people that have reached out to me. A lot of family and friends of people that have reached out to me. There's so many of them.
To kill somebody and leave no marks on their body. It's kind of like suffocation and strangulation are two of those ways. If you shoot...
And what's crazy is, like, they're trying to tell us that Kylie drowned with no water in her lungs, and it's just... What that sleepy photo insinuates is this. It's almost like she was asphyxiated. I don't know, and bound in her own car. And it's crazy because if you go back to the last video the podcast, Birdie's podcast that we listened to. There you go, pattern. There's your pattern. And it's crazy because the pattern's in the corrupt-ass law enforcement. Start there. Work on them coroners. Work on a law that separates the coroner from the sheriff. Take that fucking little dash out there, add that job. One person has one job, one person has another job, and that'll stop that flow of fucking corruption. Real quick. Or at least make it very traceable on who's doing dirty business. And you're supposed to be protecting and serving and, like, honoring these victims and the families. And, like, what are you doing? It's terrible. It's terrible that we have people out there that call themselves law enforcement and this is the dirty shit that they do. It's terrible.
Warning sign.
Stranglers have this ability to kill somebody and leave no marks on their body. It's kind of like suffocation and strangulation are two of those ways. If you shoot somebody, it's hard, really hard to make that look like suicide.
Sure
It's
is.
why the Alliance for Hope created a guide for law enforcement and families, outlining what they call 10 red flag factors to help identify and investigate suspicious deaths.
If all 10 of them
Look, we got 2 red flags between 2 photos, and there's no reason why, like, a full-fledged, other than these people too are being paid off. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I need a tinfoil hat, you know?
To help identify and investigate suspicious deaths.
If all 10 of them exist, which they do in Joanna's case, those cases are always a homicide. Always.
ABC
You said
10
it,
found
brother.
cases that followed these same red flags here in Northern California, including Joanna and Ethan's. And
It does,
another
Katie.
possible case is being actively investigated right down the road in Davis, California. Plus even more across the U.S., including in Pennsylvania.
Ellen Greenberg was found dead with 20 stab wounds in her Manayunk apartment back in 2011. Her death was ruled.
And it's crazy because so many people cover Ellen Greenberger's case it's right out of Pennsylvania. I don't cover it as much because it gets the coverage it needs. You have almost the same type of case with Michael Shane Younger from California. They claim that he stabbed. This woman claimed to have fallen over a banister and somehow hurried up and stabbed herself 20 times in the back of the fucking head and neck and shit. Same with Michael. Claimed that he stabbed himself 10 times through his rib cage. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. After one, he'd have stopped.
20 stab wounds
These
in her
cases are
Manayunk
crazy.
apartment back in 2011. Her death was ruled a suicide.
Do know this happens all over the United States. But Kylie opened a whole new world for me. I'm not from California. I'm from Nevada. But I have a love for the West Coast. And since hearing Adam Walsh's case from when I was little, my mom used to talk about it all the time. My mom was real heavy into true crime and fucking serial killers and like we had all kinds of books and shit. Nah, I know something weird's going on between these two states. I've seen it since I was little.
In her Manayunk apartment back in 2011. Her death was ruled a suicide.
In Colorado,
Within the last few minutes, we learned a jury has found Robert Feldman guilty of murdering his wife, Stacy. She died in 2015, though Denver's court.
And the beautiful thing is so many of these cases are finally coming to light. Like I'm seeing cases that are 30, 40 years old finally coming to light. And I just want to see more light shown on all of these various cases. I want justice to come for all of these people. Okay? If you can prove with the evidence, if you can prove with substantial backup, like any police report should have, if you can provide evidence, the chain and way you did things that you got from point A to point suicide, or drove themselves in a lake, or wound up in a railroad tracks, or what have you. But so far in these cases that I piqued my interest, only 2 of them were actually accidents, and I let them go. And it was the 2 boys that had drowned in Truckee. And then another recent case of the other 2 that the one brother had drowned trying to save the other one. And I let that one go because it wasn't suspicious either. Like there was evidence to prove that these cases here, it's insane, y'all. I don't understand how when you reach out to journalists, how like the journalist will pique interest in it, but the people that own them and pay them say, I knew we ain't doing all that. You know, they let little things slide through, and that's why they know they can throttle it so it only gets 1.1K views. But I wish there was somebody with enough pull that would at least expose this shit while things are happening, you know, while it gets there. And it's just so sad to me that so many of these people that used to even talk about Kylie, how they'll wait until something comes of it before they ever say her name again. They too are people that make me sick too, because again, like some of these corrupt ass fucking people, they only do it for the money. I ain't mad at them, but that's how it's gonna happen, you know?
Coroner could not determine how exactly she died.
in Kansas, just this April,
Like, what's it really hurting people by covering cases that are so similar to it and making mention of names? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
the Attorney General's office took Carol Williams' case to trial. Now, 14 years after her
Could you imagine if true crime actually focused on cases rather than fucking bullshit drama beef that you have between each other? Like, if all these channels, including the ones that only dip their toes in it or just do it to hurry up and cover the case, and then when they're told, oh, it's this when it's really that, they stop questioning it and they just move on to the next thing that pacifies your fish brains, you know? It's true. No, it is. Damn mischief. Linda, what you doing, CB? How you doing, babe? Are you guys gonna, is she there? A squirrel told me that G's in Truckee. Is she gonna go live? I'm almost done with this. I'll lay down with her. I just want to finish this so that I can piece the two together and make it one whole video, because we got rudely interrupted. Just let me know when G wants to go live, because I'll definitely be done here in the next 20 minutes, because there's only 4 minutes left on that, so 10 minutes. No, that's the thing, Lady G. Is it's crazy how much they drag their knuckles. Like, they only give you so much, and it's not enough. That paints the picture that they're trying to tell us. See what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem. Squirrels are everywhere. I love it. I don't see Miss G. I don't see her in here. I do not see her in here. I see CB, but I don't see IYP. Unless, no, I have live chat on. All right, let's continue.
Her death, her case was found to be first-degree murder and staged to look like a suicide.
That's crazy, dude.
So just how often are homicides being missed or hidden? To find out how many have happened here in California, we filed public records requests with 15 agencies statewide, including the California Department of Public Health, multiple coroner's office, and sheriff's departments, asking how often a death initially ruled a suicide was later changed. Most agencies told us they don't track this at all.
Look, I'm tracking how much whiteout's on these autopsy reports, though. That's they don't track it. They don't, what?
Most agencies told us they don't track this at all.
That's crazy.
Nobody anywhere is counting.
I'd be investigating all the
homicides.
motherfuckers, all of them.
Dr. Jane Monkton Smith is trying to.
Get
She's
honest
a former
people.
police officer.
Get honest people in those positions. It's terrible. This is so fucking terrible. Oh, she's not? Okay. Is she on her way, right?
Turned professor and forensic criminologist in the United Kingdom.
So I started to work with families who were coming to me.
And like, that's the thing is, I don't understand with her background. I don't understand why Jules, if she has contact with Pap, like, I just don't understand why more doesn't come out of it. I sure wish she would talk about Kylie as much as she talks about Brian, though. But it's okay. I'll do it for her.
Kingdom.
So I
turned Jane Monkton Smith is trying to. She's a former police officer turned professor and forensic criminologist in the United Kingdom.
So I started to work with families who were coming to me and saying to work with families.
Dr. Jane Monkton Smith, I bet you're not even in the United States. And that's what sucks is like
Families who were coming to me and
people from California don't want to even speak on it because they might be dirty people.
And saying, my loved one has been murdered, in my opinion.
Well, that's crazy. Why is no criminal pathologist or whatever this lady is? Why is nobody from like even just the state of California? Not like hell, the United States. It's crazy.
My loved one has been murdered, in my opinion. The police will not investigate. The police don't
Well,
believe
that's
me.
the UK. I feel so bad
and
for
I
the
just
people that live
need
in the
some
UK.
help.
Like the team at Alliance for Hope, she noticed patterns in these cases.
The UK is like, it's right there with California.
That pointed not to suicide, but suspicious deaths and hidden homicides.
Yes.
I didn't realize there could be such a huge problem in a democracy, and that's frightening.
So she reached out to every police force in the UK, asking for records of any deaths they considered suspicious.
Well, ma'am,
but
how
could
about
not
California?
prove were homicides.
The estimate is that we have
Like, they couldn't even get any more moved in California, so they had to resort to the UK to put the rest of this together. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's
at
crazy.
least 129 undefined
129 more possible murders in just 1 year in the United Kingdom, she says.
I can imagine just in fucking California. Hell, not even the United States, but California. And then they're undocumented homicides and written off as something else so that the homicide rate stays really, really low in these money-making cities and towns that are being swallowed by the cities.
Hidden in plain sight.
Now you take their population
These motherfuckers suffer from Californication, is what it is.
and put it into California's population or the population of the United States, and literally there could be thousands.
And because many of these cases involve domestic violence,
It would
Look, there's probably just thousands in Placer County. Just trying to keep it real.
double the current recorded rate of women being murdered in domestic violence in the United States. It would double that number.
If it's happening so
That's
much, why
insane.
don't we know more about it?
There's a kind of an institutional arrogance. We know best. You don't. You're a grieving family. You can't see what, the reality of this situation.
grief is
Like, I know how they try to gaslight us as little nobodies that have nothing to do with any of these victims. Like, I can only imagine, like, the threats, the blackmail, like, all the shit that they try to get on these families so that... And because these families know that they can't and won't, not even that they can't, they won't do anything about it, they start going after people that discuss it. And it's crazy to me. And there's a lot of people out there that are just trying to keep her name out there, keep people discussing, the fucky ass shit that's going on. What are you talking about, Jade? Wokabeaties. Wait, what? Yeah, and that's the thing, John, is, looking at, yes.
heavy, and when
Of this situation.
grief is heavy, and when a death is labeled a suicide, it can come with a painful stigma that families don't want to accept. But Monkton Smith says that label often becomes a quick conclusion, and once it's made at the scene, there's a reluctance to go back.
The paramedics then tell the hospital that's what happened, and the narrative never changes, and then it gets to the coroner.
Dude, this is crazy how much this ties into the podcast that we just listened to.
And the poor family or the people with suspicions, they look like the problem.
That's how the families
Dude.
we've talked
And that's exactly what they did to these families, is make you suss them out as long as you're not looking at the truth. But it's okay. It's okay for them. And I understand why some of these families have made the comments that they have. I get it. I see it. I see the patterns. I see what they do. It's insane.
Suspicions, they look like the problem.
It really is
That's how
sad,
the
Katie.
families we've
It really
talked
is.
to feel, and now they're pushing for change. Next on Hidden Homicides,
Aw, man. Well, that's it. And that's the thing, is hearing even Kylie's mom saying maybe they can do something with the legislature or whatever, to see the grandma go back to working for CPS. I'm going to assume it's to make sure that Kylie's little brother, I don't want to say his name, Kylie's little brother is protected. It's just, if you think about the people that have tried to come forward in some of these cases, and how other NPCs will use any means necessary to drive a wedge between either communication or what have you, by any means necessary, doesn't matter if it's in real life or online, it's the same playbook, John. It really truly is. It's just, I wish that all these families that know there's something very wrong, I wish we could just keep getting this list of names, because I bet you, if we got enough of them, I bet you there's thousands of them. Like, I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. I wish more people would cover California and the corruption within the law enforcement. I wish law enforcement themselves, and I know there are some that have, but I wish there were more law enforcement that would reach outside of their own state and get enough whistleblowers together in a skiff, whatever you have to do, because it literally is like a deep state that has their fucking claws on so much of this. Yeah, I got no time for NPCs, dude. I tried, and then I just realized that you just cannot. They're NPCs for a reason, you know? I'd rather design my own character, right? I'm trying to read comments, and then I'm gonna hop off here. oh, Newscomb, yeah. I don't know, the shit that he's doing, I vaguely remember reading something that he just had passed in California, and I couldn't believe it so much that I tried to make myself forget about it, and I did, and I want to reread what it was about. But I do know there was something that I saved on X. Hold on a second. That I wanted to share with y'all, and then we're going to wrap this up. I got to hop off here. I definitely got to go to bed. Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole, man. All right, where's me at? Let me see if I saved it first. Pretty sure. Okay, where's it at? No, that ain't it. Come on, please tell me that I saved it. Here it is. Alright, the rubber duck is the post I want to find. Hold on a second. Okay. Give me 1 second. Try and find something. It's really funny because that song has fire in it and my feet in it. Just saying. All right, how do I get? I don't even know what I'm doing. I want to stay up longer, but I know if I do, I'm going to be fucking miserable in the morning. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. It's almost midnight. Did you know, in 2009, the Podesta Group was selected as the PR firm for Amber Ready, a call routing center that handled the calls for the National Amber Alert System. The Clinton Foundation managed the calls for a national hotline for human trafficking. John Podesta's cousin operates the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They were operating a global satanic child murdering death cult, and you're about to find all about it. And I do believe it's a thread. With the sauce in it. So I'm going to drop this link directly in chat for those that are watching live. I do believe that I'm pretty sure that I shared this. I don't know how to share it. Hold on, what's this? That looks like an upload button. Anyway. It's a thread. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off here. That'd be really cool if Miss G goes live. You should get a hold of her and tell her to go live wherever she's at. I don't know. I'm gonna go lay down. If she doesn't go live, then I'll probably be in sleep in like 10 minutes anyway. And that's the crazy thing, Jade, is like behind the scenes, like I don't tell everything that I'm doing because I like putting pieces of the puzzle together for the right people. You know what I mean? But I did roll back to events that happened on August 4th, 5th in Reno, Carson City, the Incline area, and Truckee. And it's just that Tahoe region there. It's insane what politicians, including Kamala, were there. If they don't have a second home there, you know, they were there visiting all around the same date. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's very crazy to me. This whole area is very crazy to me. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I got to hop off here, y'all. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. Justice for Kylie Rodney. Say their name.